Hey guys, before we jump into this, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now. It really helps the channel grow, and make sure you stick around until the very end because Ivy got a bonus tip waiting for you, a final revelation about the one sign that ties everything together and could save you from heartbreak down the line. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Picture this. You're out on a date with someone who seems amazing, witty, charming, the kind of woman who turns heads, but deep down, something feels off, like there's a layer of her life she's not sharing, and you're left wondering about her past experiences, especially when it comes to intimacy. In today's world, where dating apps make connections easier than ever, understanding a woman's sexual history isn't about judgment. It's about gaining insight into her emotional world and how it might shape your relationship. We're re-diving into modern female psychology to uncover 7 hidden signs. She has slept with a lot of men. Not to shame anyone, but to help you navigate relationships with eyes wide open, building stronger, more honest connections along the way. Let's break it down. Number 1, she gets too close too fast, diving into deep conversations or physical intimacy right from the start without building a real foundation. This is crucial because in healthy relationships, trust and emotional bonds take time to form. But if she's rushing things, it might signal a pattern where she's used too quick, surface-level connections that revolve around sex rather than substance. Recognizing this helps you protect your own heart and invest in partnerships that have longevity, avoiding the pitfalls of mismatched expectations. For instance, think about a friend of mine named Alex who met this woman at a party. By the second date, she was already sharing super personal stories about her exes and pushing for things to get physical, making him feel like he was just another stop on her journey rather than someone special. It turned out her history involved a string of short flings, and while that's her choice, it left Alex feeling used when she ghosted him after a few weeks. From a psychological standpoint, this behavior often stems from attachment styles shaped by past experiences. Women with higher numbers of partners might lean toward avoidant or anxious attachments, using quick intimacy as a way to feel validated without risking true vulnerability, according to studies on sexual history and relationship dynamics. It's like her brain has wired sex as a shortcut to connection, bypassing the slower build-up that fosters deeper love. But here's where guys trip up. They mistake this rush for genuine passion and dive in headfirst, only to get burned when the emotional side never catches up, leading to one-sided relationships where you're giving more than you're getting. Another common mistake is assuming all fast-paced women have a high body count. Sometimes it's just excitement or cultural differences. So don't jump to conclusions without more context. To spot this effectively, watch for inconsistencies. If she's all in physically but dodges questions about her values or future goals, that's a red flag. As for applying it, slow things down yourself, suggest low-key dates focused on talking, like a walk in the park, to see if she can handle building rapport without the physical escalation. This not only helps you gauge her true interest, but also sets a tone for mutual respect. Over time, you'll find that women who value emotional depth will appreciate the pace, while those accustomed to fleeting encounters might pull away, saving you time and energy. It's all about aligning your energies for something real. And understanding this sign empowers you to choose partners who match your vision for love. Remember, it's not about counting notches. It's about compatibility and shared growth, helping you step into relationships with confidence and clarity. Number 2, she keeps an emotional wall up, sharing just enough to seem open but never truly letting you in, especially when talks turn to feelings or commitment. This matters hugely because true intimacy requires vulnerability, and if she's guarding her heart like a fortress, it could indicate past experiences where sex was plentiful but emotional bonds were scarce, leading to a fear of getting hurt again. In personal development, spotting this builds your empathy and helps you avoid investing in relationships that stay superficial, pushing you toward self-improvement by seeking out more balanced dynamics. Take my cousin Sarah's story. She dated a guy who noticed his girlfriend would laugh off any serious talk about their future, always steering back to fun, casual topics or initiating sex to distract. Later, he learned she'd been through numerous hookups in her early 20s, which made her skeptical of deep attachments, and it ended up stalling their relationship until it fizzled out. Psychologically, this ties into modern female psychology, where repeated casual encounters can lead to emotional detachment as a defense mechanism rooted in evolutionary adaptations, where women protect themselves from abandonment after investing in short-term mates, as discussed in research on promiscuity and attachment. Her mind might associate openness with pain from past rejections, so she compartmentalizes sex from emotions to stay safe. A big mistake men make here is pushing too hard for vulnerability early on, which can make her retreat further, mistaking her walls for disinterest instead of self-protection. Or worse, they ignore it altogether, thinking physical chemistry is enough, only to face resentment when the relationship lacks depth. To recognize it, pay attention to patterns. If she shares stories about adventures or work, but clams up on personal hurts or dreams, that's telling. For advice on applying this, mirror her pace, but gently encourage sharing through your own vulnerability first. Share a small story from your life to model openness and see if she reciprocates. If not, it might be time to reassess if this aligns with what you want. This approach not only helps in dating, but boosts your overall emotional intelligence, making you a better partner in the long run. It's empowering to know that by understanding these walls, you can either help break them down with patience or walk away towards someone ready for real connection, fostering your growth along the way. Number 3. She has an unusually large circle of male friends, often exes or guys from her past who still orbit her life closely. This is important to note because while having friends of the opposite sex is normal, an abundance can hint at a history of blurring lines between friendship and romance, reflecting a comfort with male attention that comes from extensive experience. In self-improvement terms, it teaches you to value boundaries in relationships, helping you build trust based on actions rather than assumptions. I recall a buddy of mine, Mike, who started seeing this woman with a phone buzzing constantly from just friends who send flirty texts or invite her out late. It made him uneasy, and eventually he discovered many were former flings she'd kept around for validation, which eroded their trust until they split. The psychology here draws from social learning theory in modern women, where high partner counts can normalize male interactions as sources of ego boosts linked to dopamine hits from attention without commitment, as seen in studies on sexual history and social networks. It's her way of maintaining a safety net, subconsciously avoiding full investment in one person. Common pitfalls include becoming jealous and accusatory without evidence, which pushes her away and makes you seem insecure or overlooking it entirely, leading to boundary issues down the line. To spot this accurately, observe the nature of these friendships if they're overly affectionate or secretive. That's a clue, not just platonic hangouts. To advice for handling it. Have an open conversation about boundaries early, expressing your comfort levels without judgment. Like saying, "I value our connection," and "I want to make sure we're on the same page about friends." This sets clear expectations and reveals her willingness to prioritize you. Practicing this hones your communication skills, turning potential red flags into opportunities for growth and stronger bonds. Hey, if you're finding this helpful so far, do me a favor, drop a like on this video, leave a comment below with which sign surprised you the most. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now so you can catch more insights like these. Your support keeps the conversation going. Number 4, she uses sex as a tool, initiating it to resolve conflicts, gain favors, or keep things exciting without addressing underlying issues. Understanding this is key because it points to a dynamic where physicality overshadows emotional health, potentially leading to unbalanced relationships that burn out fast. For personal growth, it encourages you to seek partnerships where sex is an expression of connection, not a band-aid, helping you develop healthier intimacy patterns. Picture this real scenario. A colleague of mine was in a relationship where every argument ended with his girlfriend seducing him instead of talking it out. It felt great at first, but he realized it was her go-to from past experiences with multiple partners, where sex was the currency for harmony. Psychologically, this behavior often emerges from conditioned responses in women with varied sexual histories, using arousal to trigger endorphins and avoid confrontation. Grounded in behavioral psychology, where repeated casual encounters reinforce sex as a manipulator of emotions, but men often err by going along with it, thinking it's passion only to build resentment when real problems pile up unresolved. Another mistake is labeling her negatively without context. Sometimes it's cultural or learned from bad relationships, not necessarily a high count. To recognize it, note if sex follows tension without discussion. If patterns repeat, it's a sign. Apply this by pausing in those moments and saying, "Let's talk first. I value us enough to fix this properly." This shifts the dynamic, promoting mutual respect and deeper understanding, ultimately strengthening your relational skills. Number 5. She downplays intimacy while over-sexualizing casual attention, joking about sex freely but shying away from tender moments. This sign is vital as it reveals a possible disconnect between body and heart, common in those with extensive pasts, affecting long-term compatibility. It aids self-improvement by teaching you to prioritize emotional syncing for fulfilling love. For example, I knew a woman in my social circle who did laugh off compliments on her personality but amp up flirty banter. Her boyfriend later learned it stemmed from years of hookups where vulnerability felt risky. In psychology, this links to desensitization from frequent partners, where sex becomes normalized but intimacy triggers fear of loss. Per research on body count and emotional barriers. Mistakes include mirroring her casualness, diluting your own needs, or misreading it as confidence when it's avoidance. Spot it by contrasting her ease with sex talk versus discomfort in affection. To apply, foster balance by introducing gentle intimacy, like holding hands, and discuss feelings openly, building trust gradually for richer connections. Number 6. She talks about sex too comfortably and too soon, bringing it up in early conversations as if it's everyday chat. This importance lies in its signaling normalized views from experience, helping you gauge if your values align for sustainable bonds. Relate to a story of my neighbor who dated someone dropping sexual innuendos on date 1. It hinted at her past flings, clashing with his pace. Psychologically, it's from habituation, where multiple partners reduce taboos, boosting confidence but risking superficiality, as in studies on sexual openness. Errors. Assuming it's always a bad sign or escalating too quick yourself. Recognize by timing if premature. Note, it apply by steering talks deeper, revealing if she can connect beyond. Number 7. She constantly compares you to other men, subtly or not, stacking you against past lovers. Crucial for spotting insecurity patterns from history, aiding in choosing affirming partners. Example, a friend's girl would say, "My ex did this better," rooted in her varied past. Psychology, comparison as coping from unresolved attachments, mistakes, defending or ignoring, breeding toxicity. Spot via frequency. Apply by addressing calmly, setting boundaries for respect. Wrapping this up, these signs aren't about labeling or shaming. They read tools from modern psychology to help you understand her world, protect your emotions, and build relationships that truly fulfill you. It's emotional to realize pasts shape us, but with awareness, you can choose love that's mutual and deep, avoiding pain and embracing growth. If this resonated, subscribe now, turn on notifications for more, comment your thoughts below, and share this with a friend who needs it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.